Okay, we're going to open up the Finance Committee meeting for the month of July. Public comment period. We have one public speaker. And, oh, I'm sorry. Somebody threw it to me. We don't have any public speakers. Approval of minutes. I need a motion. Anybody, all in favor? Anybody against? Carried. Committee work plan, no changes.
That's correct.
Finance Watch.
Good morning. Finance Watch begins on page 13 of your committee book. There was a $600 million cash flow borrowing that closed on July 10th that we are reporting on this morning. Again, the proceeds of this borrowing are going to be used to finance on a short-term basis operating and maintenance expenses that address a timing mismatch between revenues and operating expenses, and that's due to anticipated delays of the regional mobility tax, as well as MMTOA subsidy transfers from New York State. This was a very successful transaction that ultimately will cost the MTA 0.39% or 39 basis points for this 5-month maturity note. And that was improved significantly from the 45 basis point pricing that we went out into the market with. We had a very successful order period with over 11 large institutional money managers approved to buy the note. In this market, we were expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 4. So we were pleasantly surprised by the turnout. I think this had to do with putting together a very solid structure that the market could understand and was very interested in. And I think I just wanted to point out that our outside consultants, in this case Nixon Peabody and Goldman Sachs, that worked on the resolution, their efforts were much appreciated and right on target for what we needed to do in this market. By the time the underwriters were able to get the note into the market, they were able to generate significant interest, and this was done with Barclays as senior manager and Ramirez and Company as a special co-senior manager. One of the unique things about this deal that we weren't expecting was retail interest, and we had over $25 million of retail investors that came in and purchased notes in the deal. Again, so we had a dynamic there that we weren't expecting, and it also helped the transaction. Behind this page, our normal debt service reports through the month of June appear on pages 15 and 16. You see the summary on the bottom of page 16 that the adopted budget shows $707 million in debt service. Actual debt service paid was $710 million. It's just a 0.5% variance there. So for the most part, year to date, we're on track. And then following that are all of the variable rate resets that we are now providing on a monthly basis. Any questions?
Any questions for Pat? Okay.
I just want to follow up on one point that Pat made, which was with respect to the RANs that we did. It's not right. With respect to the RANs that we did, it came up in committee. I guess these are all dead. Came up in committee last month when we discussed the issue about the bond issuance fee from the state. And since it came up publicly there, I want to make sure that it's clear publicly here that state DOB was responsive in the negotiation of. Thank you, Adrian. Was responsive to our request, and so they did reduce the bond issuance fee to an appropriate level, which made the issuance, sort of more like a short-term note offering than what would otherwise have been, against the 30-year scale. So I want to mention that since that came up publicly. There's no regular budget watch this month because of the fact that we'll be doing we have a joint finance board meeting to do the financial plan and the 10 budget. And so with that, Jim, it's all yours.
Okay. Gary.
Procurements for MTA headquarters on page 25 of your books. There are 6 competitive procurements totaling $10,378,755.
Any questions on these procurements? Can I get a motion? Get a second? All in favor? Any contrary? Okay.
Metro North has 1 non-competitive procurement. It's on page 35 of your book, and it's totaling $1,195,000.
Get a motion, please? Second? Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried.
Long Island Railroad has 3 procurements, 2 non-competitive and 1 competitive. The total for the 3 procurements is $2,210,000.
Can I get a motion? Second? Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Long Island Bus has 1 competitive procurement, and that's on page 41 of your book, and that's for a total of $840,000.
Can I get a motion, please? Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Bridges and Tunnels has 2 procurements. One is competitive. Both are competitive. And it is a total of $8,713,278.70.
I get a motion? Second? Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried.
New York City Transit has 6 procurements. 4 are non-competitive, 2 are competitive. Total value of the 6 procurements, $19,387,233.57.
Can I get a motion? Second, any discussion or questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Brings us to MTA Bus has 3 procurements, and they are all non-competitive. Total value, $2,202,517.36.
I get a motion, please? Second? Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Capital Construction has 1 action item, and this is with the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey. It's on page 63 of your book. And it is for the sublease and license agreement for the installation of 3 columns to the 2 World Trade Center station.
Get a motion? Second? Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried.
Wow, it's like being a dentist today, isn't it?
There is no executive session, sir.
Okay, next meeting is Wednesday
Yes.
of this finance
You have a
committee.
special meeting.
Need a motion to adjourn. Carried.
Seabrook shows up. Adjournment.
Hey,